Comment about the game?
Well, first of all, very proud of these young men. Played 60 minutes in the game. Wasn't always pretty, but it's not. Listen, that's the way football is. When you play good football teams, that's what happens. You know, they got a good football team. We respected them coming in, but our players fought. We made the plays offensively when we needed to. We made the plays defensively when we needed to. I'm just tickled with these guys because they will compete. Listen, when people watch us play, we want them to say, okay, these guys are fast, they're physical, they're tough, they're disciplined, and they will compete. And if they leave the field and people say that about us, we're good with that. And they did that tonight. Was it all perfect? No. But, I give a lot of credit to their team as well. And, wow, what about the crowd? I mean, our fans, our students, our alumni, the Southerners, I mean, that's incredible. That is a home field advantage.
Stadium record tonight, 24,166.
I won't tell you what, they were like our, I know some other schools use, but they are a difference. They are a huge difference, when we play at home, and our guys enjoy it. They have fun, and we're excited about it.
Take some questions, Max.
Can you guys take us through the Hail Mary, one, why Wimsat, and then DeAndre, can you take us through what you saw, and I guess from the sideline, what did you guys all see?
Well, first of all, the Hail Mary, again, we work these situations during practice. We work them during our walkthrough on Friday. I think it was about 4:30 when we did it on Friday afternoon. Yeah. Exact same play in the exact same situation. Listen, okay, we had 3 quarterbacks score tonight, or were responsible for scores. Caden, and Gavin. We'll play them all. I trust them all. I've been saying that since this summer. So, but we worked Gavin in that situation, and I'll let Deondre talk about it.
Well, honestly, it was just I had to make a play, and I seen them 3 go for the ball, and then went in the air, and I was just in the right place at the right time. And I couldn't believe it.
We actually saw, we had a timeout right there, and we kind of, we saw the safeties weren't playing as deep as what I thought they would play in that situation, so we used the timeout. And the one thing about winning college football games is you have to score points. I mean, that's just, so you got to use every minute and every inch of the field. That's one of the things we all talk about is using those inches and minutes. And, we don't want to waste any and leave them out there.
Mark?
Coach, you basically had to rebuild the secondary when you got here with just how few players were on the roster. Can you talk about just where that group is from then to now? And Caleb, just talk about the effort from tonight with 3 interceptions and some really good plays in the secondary.
Well, we did. That was one of the, I said in the offseason, we had to emphasize, is doing that. And listen, we know what we're looking for in the secondary, same intangibles that I just talked about. We've had some growing pains, but we're starting to come together, getting more turnovers. But listen, I love the way they work. I love the way they compete. What I like is watching them compete against each other in practice. That's what's fun, and that makes them better. And we got to continue getting better because we're not done. I know everybody's gonna tell everybody how great this, and this is a good win. All right, but after tomorrow, all right, we got that. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but this isn't the end. This was the biggest game because it was the next game. We got other stuff we got to do.
Mark?
Caleb, could you talk about the secondary as well?
Yeah, Kennesaw they have a very talented quarterbacks and then receivers, so we knew it was going to be a challenge. It was competitive throughout the whole game. I think, when you look around at the secondary, I think pretty much everybody got their hands on their ball. At some point, Traquan had a big PBU in the end zone. Mark had an interception. Walker had an interception. Trevor got his hands on one. So I think just flying around and the more as a secondary that you be around the ball, good things tend to happen. So.
Coach, two things. One, quickly, did Gavin have a chance to warm up at all before going in?
He stays warm during the game. You know, they always in between series they'll stay warm.
And one other thing, you've had some exciting wins this year, and your guys seem to be very good at being able to put that behind them and start on the next week. Why is that, do you think?
Well, I think that's the way we train. It's just, okay, all right, you prepare, you get ready, you do what you have to do to win, and then you go on to the next one. And, I shared with them, I thought I was going to bore them to death this week. Listen, the first time I learned how to win a championship was my college coach, Coach Dye. And when we used to, when we won all those SEC championships back then, Coach would call it Amen's Corner. The last 3 games of the year. It's like playing in the Masters. To win the Masters, you got to win Amen's Corner. So we take the game. Back when I was playing, it was Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. To win those games, you won the SEC championship. Well, we approached it as Amen's Corner. That's what it is. And I actually explained something to some of the guys that didn't know about golf, what Amen's Corner was. So tonight was a long par 4 with water on the left, sand bunker to the right. Got to get off on a good tee shot, all right? And don't think about nothing else but getting the ball in the hole. And they kind of, hopefully they, got something out of that. But guess what? There's 3 holes in Amen's Corner. So we got to play another one next week.
Yep. Maxwell, and then we'll go to Joe.
Coach Whitley, did you ever get an update on the KSU player? Do you guys know anything that happened with that?
The only thing I know for sure, I don't know if y'all got anything else. Greg,
Kennesaw will answer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just check with the Kennesaw folks.
Yeah, I think, I hadn't since he left the field.
And then, do you guys feel like maybe you had that the double pass play a couple weeks ago last year? I know that's a different team. You guys had that. They had the Hail Mary. Now you have this Hail Mary. Does it feel like maybe a team of destiny? And this is for anybody.
I don't know about team of destiny. I think that the thing I'm proud of our guys is we work those things. It's not like we do them and just they show up in the game. Because those are situations in the game. And if you want to play well, then you got to work situations in practice, but we work them, but they execute. That's the thing about it. It's one thing to work them, another thing to execute.
Anyone else?
They got into the red zone or close to it 10 times tonight and came up with 7 times. They came up with either a field goal or nothing. Mm-hmm. How did you all turn it around in those? I'll ask you that too, Caleb. Just your thoughts about that.
Coach Williams always says, defend every blade of grass. I think that was just kind of the mindset. They had I don't know how many drives that were 8+ plays, but it felt like a lot. But just keep making them snap the ball. Their offense, they live off explosive plays, and they're a very explosive offense. So you know that as the field shrinks, you have to execute even more detailed. You have to be more sound on defense. Things happen faster. So really just focusing in, realizing that just because they get the ball to the 10-yard line doesn't mean they have points yet. So either hold them, make them go for it on 4th down, which I know they did a couple of times, or make them make a field goal. So yeah, defend every blade of grass.
Caden, what's it like playing and practicing with a guy like Deondre on the team?
It's definitely different. I played at Fairhope High School, and I think I didn't have a receiver over 6 foot maybe. So having a guy that's 6'8", and you just kind of chunk it down there. And when I throw those balls, I know that either he's going to catch it or nobody's going to catch it. So it's a real comfortable feeling and something that I'm still getting used to. I got to throw him the ball more, but it's good to have him on our team.
Joe.
The coach and players too. During the open day, y'all work really trying to get more explosive plays out of the passing game. That seems that's really showed up in the last 3 games. Just how much is that affecting maybe the way teams can defend you?
Well, Caden will tell you too, when you watch these safeties start, it's one thing to have one safety drop in the box, but when they drop both of them, that's like somebody challenging you. You gotta be able to do something about it. But I think, like Caden said, he's getting more comfortable with Deondre and, you know, some of the other guys. Like we hit the post tonight. I mean, you know, we were not throwing a lot of post routes early in the year. We were throwing some go balls, but, you know, that's helped us being able to attack the middle of the field. But, you know, that is football. It's creating explosive plays. Now, and if they're not going to let you do it in the run game, flip side, Kennesaw, like Caleb said, they lived off explosive pass plays, you know, and we were like, okay, make them drive the ball, 14, 15 plays. That's hard to do offensively if you're not getting those explosive plays. So I think for us to score points, you know, we got to work it and continue to work it. We did work it in the open days, but it's something that we have emphasized since then. But you know, the thing about it's like I told DeAndre, and I'll say it in front of, I mean, we had some shots early in the year, but we didn't make the plays. Now we're starting to make those plays, and we got to continue to do that.
Mark?
For all three players, later when your family and friends ask you what was it like, what was it like to play in a game like this, how would the three of you describe it?
I don't know. The words after I caught the Hail Mary, I was just shocked myself. So, like, for me to describe this to my friends and family, I just have to tell them to watch it.
I mean, it was a special game. Obviously, you know, sellout or the highest attendance record. Like, that's pretty cool to be a part of. You know, the fun thing is we still have another home game left in a year, so that'd be another big fun game. But yeah, games like that are always memorable. You know, it's just electric in the stadium, both sides, their fans, our fans. So, you know, just games like that you never forget, and that's really why you play.
Yeah, I agree with both of them. Being able to play in a game like that, I'm just so humbled to be able to play it. It was a really fun atmosphere, and I think for all of us here, we're really appreciative of our fans and band and, you know, everyone who's involved.
But Max?
Okay, it's been a couple of weeks since you hurt your elbow, and I see you got a wrap or something. Just how's it been feeling? Does it affect you on the field at all, or kind of?
Nah, my elbow's fine. I hope it doesn't look like I'm running the ball any different or anything, but I'm perfectly fine. It's not affecting my play at all.
All right, I think we'll wrap it up. Just two quick things. Pretty good company here. There's 5 teams in FBS that have undefeated conference records. Indiana, Ohio State, Texas A&M, James Madison, Jacksonville State. So pretty good. Caleb also became the school's all-time leader in interception return yardage tonight. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.